I want to talk about two different topics in one video at one time. It is what you see on the screen. Hilarious to an elderly lady, or pronounced for hilarious to elderly lady for pronouncing a word. Or I'm just gonna say it like that because it only allows you to put so much in there, in the title. But anyway, the video is about people trying to silence you for speaking the truth. Or when you on point with something, they don't acknowledge it. Yeah, they don't acknowledge it. When you make sense out of something, just like we all come from different worlds. I came from a different world. I came from a single parent household. To this day, as I speak, single parent household, even though I'm grown, physically in body, 49 years old. Now, that's something that's rare, but in the so-called white community or Caucasian community, it ain't like that. But in the African American community, we know this is a rapid increased thing in the African American community. So you know that we have, quote unquote, a lot of problems and issues that we have a lot of issues within our community. Um, I was speaking to somebody, and it's sad when you speak with supposed to be the leaders, the elders, but the way that the oral, the way I deliver my oral to people, people don't like it. You see what I'm saying? I did a video several hours ago yesterday on Facebook, and it was a very interesting video. I did two topics in one. You can go check it out on YouTube, and it's also here on Facebook too, as well. Yeah, people don't really they hate the truth, really. But they could be the same people that go around here and listen to these false fucking prophets on social media. And that's why God had to shut the churches down because, you know what I'm saying? When you speak truth to a weak situation, most people don't like it. They don't like it. They hold on, let me see how they like to do it. Hold on, let me come over here. And I don't want it to look blurry and shit. You know what I'm saying? It looks more clear here. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that light to be blurring me off. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you know what? I need to go in here and put. Oh, I did put that water on. My bad. I did. I did. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. I'll be back. I'm gonna mute this mic for 1 second. Hold on. Look, man. It's like, man, people. I don't believe in all that. Like a lot of gossip and shit like that. We live in our generation is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And Esau, don't think I'm gonna let Esau you off the hook. Y'all people, y'all race of people, because y'all cause us more. Y'all control the world. You see what I'm saying? And y'all cause more headaches and turmoil than anybody. But I was speaking on something simple. There was an elderly lady that I was speaking with early this morning, right? And she was saying that I haven't heard from my son in a few days, right? I haven't heard from my son in a few days. And I said, well, I said, at some point you got to realize too, just like me, every woman, I'm not going to expect for every woman is to be exactly just like my mother, because different every woman comes from a different walk of life. Every woman comes from different backgrounds. A lot of them was raised different. Now it may not be their personality by nature, but it could have been that they could have been trained into a certain into a way of into a mentality and their way of thinking. You see what I'm saying? So this is what I was trying to explain to an elderly woman live down the street. I mean, live, you know, in the neighborhood. I say, well, the thing is, well, you know, we know how the community is. When you ain't dealing like with me, you see me every day. You see what I'm saying? I told you see me every day. If you want to get in touch with me, you can get in touch with me through the phone, whatever, you know. And then we have the convenient stuff like with the internet and stuff. But I didn't say all that. But I just say you have to understand when you dealing. It's just like when you go to people who've been in the scholar and the educated in the theology world, who's well versed and educated in theology and science world, and they know it. They just professionals in it. You have to remember those people. You're not dealing with somebody who just started reading just a couple of hours ago, or somebody just started reading about 20 minutes ago. Now, if you met somebody that had never read nothing and they reading something 20 minutes ago, of course you can convince them or convert them to whatever it is you're trying to convert them to. But when somebody know they self and understand who they are, and you try to go up and converse them and tell them about themselves or whatever, you're going to lose in that battle. Is because you not only you're going to lose in the battle, but you're dealing with somebody who is well versed about themselves, or you're dealing with somebody that is the people of that book. That's just like the Bible, right? Everybody, they go around here and tell people God loves everybody and stuff like that. Now, I'm not on that level because I'm aware of that. So you can't come to me and just throw, you know what I'm saying? Like you may have an elderly woman that say, oh, I don't understand why he don't understand. I'm so stressed out that Clarence don't understand, Peter don't understand what's going on or whatever. And then somebody say, in essence, say, well, look, you got to understand, Clarence ain't just got in the Bible the other day. This guy researches every day. This guy do his diligent research, and he been in it for so long, he knows how to give you a rebuttal of what you're saying. So you're not dealing with somebody who just maybe know maybe one or two scriptures and they favorite scriptures and they don't know shit. You're dealing with somebody who have studied the context to every single scripture that's in the Bible. So you're not going to be able to come up and try to seduce me into your game. I'm just making an example out of this here. If you're dealing with like me, I'm the type of person, I've been laid back all my life. And this is what I was trying to explain to the elderly woman. But I guess what I said, it was so truthful, it was intimidating to her. So she, in essence, was telling me, I'm trying to handle my business. I said, well, just acknowledge the truth. Well, I'm trying to handle my business. She just kept saying, well, just trying to handle my business, which I understand. You're trying to handle your business, but you didn't acknowledge the person for telling the truth. So that goes to show you, when you don't acknowledge the person for what they said, you could have just said, hold on, I do understand what you're saying, son. That's that makes sense what you said. And went on and said, well, I'm okay, let me take care of this here. But I do, at the same time, I do understand what you just said because it made sense. Did she do that? No, she didn't do that. She just went on to my taking care of business. Now, I'm not against you taking care of your business or whatever, but be logical enough is to be able to say, okay, what you said was true. That's it. That's all. And you know who taught you that way? The so-called white man, the Caucasian man. They have taught you is to be, they have actually taught our women is to be illogical, because Black men, Hispanic and Native American men, we naturally by nature speak with logic. We're logical creatures. But when you're dealing with our brainwashed condition and slave-minded women's Hispanic and Black Native American women, especially the so-called Black woman, it ain't no logic in what they're saying, because they've been conditioned to believe that they don't have to really listen to logic. They believe that their emotion, they depend upon their emotions for everything. You know what I mean? They emotion, it's like they allow their emotions is to teach them and to lead and guide them. Whether you come in with a piece of logic or not, in their eyes, it's not logic. It's just something that you're saying and they don't understand it. But me, I try to operate in logic. Yes, I'm a bit emotional. Don't get me lie. Yes, I get fucking mad in a minute. Yes, I get pissed off in a minute. Hell yeah, I do. But at the same time, I'm logical with it. I try to at least be. You see what I'm saying? I'm growing. Now, have I always been like that? No, absolutely no. Because I feel like I have not been when I was younger, and when people would make me angry or mad or whatever, I didn't know how to articulate. I didn't know how to articulate myself. But I can do a little bit better now, because I came from a place where I couldn't read or write. So I didn't have access to much education, which most African Americans, Black people can relate to too. I definitely can relate to that. You see what I'm saying? But when you're dealing with our sisters, our women, Black, Hispanic, Native American men, women especially, that been through slavery, they not gonna be able to relate to that. To the lot, they not gonna logic to them. What you're saying is complete bullshit. It's bullshit. But them speaking and thinking off their emotions, because see, when they think off of their emotions, they not no logical people. They gonna probably say some shit that's not gonna make any sense. You see what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? So that's why I come up in here and I speak the way that I'm speaking. The same way, like you see that title sitting there in that video right there. Hilarious to a elderly lady for pronouncing a word. Now it's wrong enough because the thing wouldn't allow you to the YouTube people or whatever the people the company the social media they only allow you to put a word in there for so long and so on and so forth until if you try to put too many in there, it's gonna be red and it's not gonna accept. You see what I'm saying? But it's they don't most of them don't acknowledge the logic that's in the video. They'll completely skip over that. But they've been trained by the so-called white man Esau. Our women has been conditioned through slavery in that situation. Now notice I keep going back to slavery, because they'll tell you it's not all about slavery. Yes, it is, because whether you know it or not, we're still suffering off of that transatlantic slave trade that happened back in like whatever 1610 or whatever. That shit is still having an effect upon the general. It's called generational curse, and the reason why we got a lot of the problems that we got now is because this has been a generation of curse that's been passed on, just like through the so-called white race. The reason why the so-called white man, the white people are doing what they're doing, and the white so-called white people in the year so-called 2024, it's like they are the product of those ancestors decades ago and during biblical time. They are the same people, because in the Bible it says there is no end of all the people. That's in Ecclesiastes. I'm gonna have to look it up to see. And everything, but they not logical thinking creatures at all. They not. So I'm just, like I said, I'm just not learning how to wake up and be a man. I'm in an early baby stage. I'm not even walking yet, but I feel like now I'm going back and I'm trying to teach myself how to be the man that I wasn't. And if I have to get around some brothers on the streets or whatever, and I did. When I go out there and I run into older men, older brothers, older gentlemen or something. Oh, it doesn't matter. They can be. It doesn't matter. It's like, how how old or how young they are, because I realize at the end of the day, I can learn from any whatever age. You know what I mean? It's no age limited. It's about the mind. So you got the knowledge and the logic. Hey, I'll listen to you. But you know what I'm saying? But if you sitting up there speaking and going and speaking illogical, and you're an illogical creature, no man no black, so-called black or Hispanic man wants to marry a woman like that. I'm one of them. I don't want to marry. I mean, excuse me, I don't want to be with a woman, call myself choosing this woman to be with me for the rest of my life. And and the person don't want to be logical in what they're doing, because that's a turnoff. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people not going to understand logic. The so-called black man, most of our people, most of us, we speak off of logic. We deal with things off of logic. The so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American woman, they go off of emotions. They speak where they let their emotions like lead them. Like you can you can have a car, and I ain't never owned a car. Let's say like if you had a reason to cuss this woman out, right? You got insulted first, and then both of y'all got into a argument, a debate, or something. 9 chances out of 10, when Esau come along, them corrupt devils, the so-called white men come along in them so-called police cars, they gonna usually by our people, they condition our women a certain way and our men a certain way. They gonna gravitate more to the woman side, because I don't know what it is. It's like it's the way the system has set it up, doing like they did during slavery. You see what I'm saying? They would, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know how it's a lot of different things that they did, like they would go, and the slave master would go and sleep with the black woman anytime he felt like it, and stuff like that. And they would take and let me show you something. Maybe let me get the biblical Bible and just break it down right quick. Let me show you. I'm gonna go to Exodus, and y'all familiar with Pharaoh, right? Pharaoh, the Pharaoh that enslaved the children of Israel. He was an Egyptian. He was an African. I'm gonna go to Exodus chapter 1. Exodus chapter 1 and verse Exodus chapter 1 and verse 22. And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is born, that means physical born, ye shall cast into the river, and every daughter ye shall save alive. This is the traits of the so-called white man, even though this is an African, because they all got the same spirit. This is the number one reason why that the black male, the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American man goes through a lot of being targeted. Have I experienced that? Yes, all the time. When you go in these stores, now when I say all the time, I don't literally mean like, okay, you walk in the store and like, oh, okay, they walk. I mean like sneaky. They are very sneaky. When you go in these stores, they watching you when you think they ain't watching you. You see what I'm saying? I experienced that going into Albertsons about 4 years ago. You see what I'm saying? And 4 years ago, I ain't been in Albertsons in like about 4 years. It's been a minute since I've been in there. I don't go in there no more. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't want it just, now I know that you can't avoid it going in every store. I mean, it's in every store. It's worse in certain places. Now, if I have to go in there, I'll go. But if I can avoid going in there, absolutely, I will avoid from going in there. But I hope I just hope and pray that I don't have to go in there too soon. But y'all get what I was saying, right? It says in Exodus 1:22, and Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is born ye shall cast into the river, and every daughter ye shall save alive. Why you think so many of our black men getting killed? Look at George Floyd. This is the fulfillment in Bible prophecy that he was cast away, but it was with a modern day knee on the neck. So that's the same spirit to this day. You see what I'm saying? And they say every daughter you shall save alive. That's why they got women, more women on the damn cash registers now and working in these corporate businesses now. And they set the man and they have the woman ruling over the man. Let me show you that in the Bible in Isaiah. I think it's chapter 3. Go with me to Isaiah chapter 3 and I'm going to show you something. How Esau do his thing, the so-called white man, how they got things out of. Let me show you. And then I'm gonna take and I'm gonna give you give you a rebuttal to what the scripture that I'm reading to back it up even more so. I think that's chapter 3. Yes. Isaiah chapter 3. I think I was right. In verse 12. Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 12. The Bible says, as for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. What that sound like? It sounds like what I just said. It was confirmed. Now, if this Bible is not true, and you trying to tell me that, like this dude told me, trying to say, why are you reading the Bible to me? And I did a video. Go check it out. Just type in why are you reading the Bible to me, and I'll pop right up. And look at that. Check that video out. Let me read it one more time. It says, Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. They got women and ruling over people. Oh, my people, my people, they which lead thee, cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths. See that? Now let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 40. Let me show you how women be out of order when they do what they be doing, like speaking illogical. Because they don't do this is gonna cut them to the core right here. 1 Corinthians chapter 14. I think I'm 13, 14. Yeah. 1 Corinthians chapter 14. Let me make sure. Yeah, 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 40. Let all things be done decently and in order. Do you think our women are decent and in order? No, because they have been taught by the so-called white man is to sit up there and be fucking logical. They have. A woman can call the police, a so-called black woman, Hispanic or Native American, mainly a so-called black woman, because they are the main right-hand man. And I heard, and the reason I'm saying that is because I give credit to a lot of our brothers that's on YouTube. They have said this, and so that's a repeated act to me. That I'm repeating what they have, I've been hearing my brothers say on YouTube. You know, it's a lot of them say this, so I be listening. I be listening to other YouTube videos because I be trying to learn. You see what I'm saying? And I'm still learning. You see what I'm saying? So I humble myself is to say, I didn't just with me getting from where I was, poor education, not knowing how to read and write or whatever. I went on YouTube and I Google up things, and I looked up things, and I not on that, but I listened to a lot of other YouTubers. You see what I'm saying? And when I listen to it, I'm like, damn, that does make sense. Because when I have went out into the world, I have actually experienced that. And when I come back and look at YouTube and I watched a couple of videos and stuff, because I like to watch a lot of educational stuff. You see what I'm saying? And I learn from it. I'm like, damn, okay. I'm gonna use, maybe I can say that in my videos. But they are the right hand man of white supremacy. Whoever said that, shout out to you for saying that. And a couple of more you brothers, I can't remember y'all. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all for saying it, because that word does make sense. You see what I'm saying? But I also interpret, I made a video in my own way, that our people has a white Caucasian mindset. Make sure you go check. I got a 1, 2, 3, and a 4, and I think I have a part 5 and a 6. I can't remember. I'm gonna have to go look. I think part 5, all the way up, and so on and so forth. Yes, go check them out. It's on my Real Hebrew channel. This matter of fact, this video here is going on my Hebrew channel. Let's read this one more time. 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 40. Let all things be done decently and in order. God, when God come back here, he got to set this whole world back in order. He got to set everything that's out of order. The so-called white man got this shit out of order. The so-called white man got our women up there doing men's work. They manly. They out of it. Everything is just totally out of control. It is. And a man supposed to be the leader. And when I say the leader, I'm not talking about somebody controlling. I'm talking about somebody that's it is naturally in a man's nature is to lead. You see what I'm saying? But Esau, America, is against the Bible. The so-called white man is against the Bible. White woman and child, they all is against the Bible because they all got the same spirit. So they is teaching contrary to this Bible. And our women went and got drunk off of the white power structure. And that's how things end up getting turned upside down the way that they are, because there are some scriptures in Revelation that talks about, I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints. That's talking about God's chosen people is drunk with the European, intoxicated with the false doctrines and the ways of America, the European standards. They have drunk off of the confusion of Christianity. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of our women have gotten drunk off of the confusion of the powers of Christianity that pushes that. So they fell for that. Just like Eve, the example of Eve falling for what the devil said about eating of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And that was going into knowledge, because God was telling her, make sure you deal with your own customs, your own knowledge, your own culture, and keep your ways and your customs. Don't go and follow the customs of another nation. That's what it wasn't an apple. It wasn't a literal fruit. It was dealing with knowledge. God was telling the Israelites, the sons of Adam, is to embrace your commandments and your culture. Do not go and adopt another nation or heathen nation's culture. And you can go and look these up in the context, and you'll see that I'm telling you the truth. Let's look up one more. Now, 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 40. Let all things be done decently and in order. Now, let's go to Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 2. Here it is right here. Thus said the Lord. Now, let's read verse 1. I'm going to show you who he's talking to. Hear ye the word which the Lord has spoken unto you, O house of Israel. See, God is not speaking to the whole world. He said, O house of Israel. Thus said the Lord, verse 2 of Jeremiah 10, verse 2. Thus said the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. So that's what God was telling Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. When he said, don't eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day you eat thereof, you shall surely die. So the context of this, and one of the contexts, this is not the only one, but I'm just going to read this here. And I'm going to read it again. Thus said the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. That means don't sit up there and listen and to the ways and the customs of the heathens. Don't learn their ways. Stay away from their ways and their customs. But this is the reason why our women are in these positions that they're not supposed to be in, because the man's supposed to lead, but they got it to where the woman is leading, and that is out of order, and that's not God's order. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 40 says, let all things, that's it, what the Apostle Paul says, let all things be done decently and in order. That means let everything be done in order. Everything got to be done in order. And this, if you look at our society now, who is ruling the home? The women are. That's not God's order. Thus said the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathens are dismayed at them. Now listen to verse 3. For the customs of the people are vain. The Most High said, don't observe other people's customs, the heathens' customs, because they are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest. What that sound like? We adopting the ways. Our people is the black people, Hispanic people, and Native American people are the only people that take pride in adopting other people's cultures, the European cultures. But have you noticed that the Europeans don't go out their way trying to adopt our culture and our ways? The work for the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They decked it with silver and with gold. They fastened it with nails and with hammers, that it moved not. The Most High said they fashioned it. Why would you worship something that it's not even your customs? We adopt all these. I said that yesterday in a video. We adopt Thanksgiving. That's what I like. I love to say Thanksgiving. I don't like, and I don't feel comfortable saying Thanksgiving. No, I feel comfortable with saying Thanksgiving because that's what you worshiping. You're worshiping something that represents. Do you know them killing George Floyd? Do you know that's part of the plan, of reason why they celebrate Thanksgiving, or what they call Thanksgiving? Well, that's what you represent. You representing you when you celebrate Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving, you are telling the so-called white man, we okay, but you still killing our people. We celebrating what you all are doing. That's exactly what you're saying. Yeah. So everything, all this stuff is out of order. And see, when I say out of order, I'm talking about so-called black men is more logical. We are more logical with people. The so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American man is logical. Women are just, by nature, they not logical creatures. They just not logical creatures. But that's the way I'm gonna deal with you. I'm not gonna deal with you. What you call that? With no evidence. I don't believe, like arguing and all that kind of stuff. There's a difference in between argument and argument that holds no elements and no weight. There's also a difference between an argument that holds logic. You see, you get what I'm saying? An argument that holds logic is different from all that other stuff. So when they say you like to argue, I would ask them this here. What do you mean by that? Do you mean, okay, let's break down. There are 2 and 3 different types of arguments. Mainly there are 2 different types of arguments. One argument holds nothing but pure logic. Another argument holds no logic at all. Meaning that you can be speaking and you can be saying things, and if you say, well, it's not about picking up a book, then right away you're defeating yourself more, because at that point you're foolish. That's what I'm gonna say. You're foolish, and you don't want to deal with logic. That's what it is. So when you say likes to argue, now arguing, what are you saying? Am I just arguing that holds no weight? Argument that holds no logic? What are you talking about? Because there are different types of arguments. Some arguments are good and some arguments are bad. They got one argument that's bad and they got another argument that's good. So if you feel that I'm arguing with you, I'm not arguing arguing with you or whatever. I'm simply, it sounds like an argument, but it's not an argument. It's me, the difference between your argument and mine. I'm putting logic in my argument. You just putting straight up, just mixing your argument with your argument is with emotions. It don't have a bit of logic in it. That's the only difference. Now, if I'm sitting up here arguing with you, and I ain't got no weight on it, no weight and no logic in it, you'll have me right there. Then I have to humble down and shut the hell up and say, you know what? You're right about that. Damn, I got to get rid of it. It may hurt. Like, you know what? This ain't holding no logic. But see, the difference between us, most of the average Hispanic, Black woman, Native American woman is not going to think like that. They're not going to do that. They just going to think straight off their argument that don't hold no element and no logic. You see what I'm saying? That's like having Kool-Aid. One has sugar in it and the other one has no sugar in it. So at that point, you'll have me. Well, you ain't got no sugar in that. True. I got sugar in mine. Yeah. Just like air. Air holds no weight. It holds no weight. One argument holds weight and logic, and another one, the other argument does not hold no weight. It holds nothing but pure emotions. That's the difference between your argument and mine. That's right. So, what can I name the video? A lot of our women have been trained and taught by the so-called white man is to hate the real truth that holds logic. A lot of our women has been trained by the so-called white man is to hate true logic. Yes. So I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here, and we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit later, and I'll see y'all later. And I'm out.